Good morning. Welcome back to In the Trenches with Dr. Tammy. I'm excited to see you today, or shall I say, speak with you today. It has been a very busy couple of weeks. We had game night, we've had other activities that are going on behind the scenes, but I want to share something with you today. If you look at my face, you'll notice there's a few things missing. There's no makeup going on here today. It's been an emotional day. Let me share with you why. And before I do so, I want you to remember something. It is perfectly okay to have one of those days. What's even more okay is for you to give yourself grace. When you need to take a moment for yourself and just digest and reflect upon what's happening around you, do that. It's really important that you think about yourself at times. So, today I've been ripping and running, talking with people, hopefully inspiring some folks, solving a few problems here and there. But my day started with me doing my civic duty. So, we know this platform is not about politics, but I will share that I did stroll to the polls today, as you can see from my shirt. But while I was out there waiting in the line for about 30 minutes or so to go inside and cast my ballot, I noticed something that was a little disheartening to me. And I saw no other people of color. I didn't see any other minorities. And I am going to say that I hope they have either already decided to vote and gone already, or they're waiting the rest of this week and finally on Monday. So, again, while I say this is not a political platform, I do truly hope that you take the time to cast your vote, whatever that may be. But I was able to do mine today. So, hats off to those of you who already have. Hats off to those of you who are on your way to do so. Now, let's talk a little bit more about why today I feel a little bit emotional. And I'm giving myself grace. Someone asked me a question about finding my voice because recently we talked about all of the things that I've been doing for others because that's just the kind of heart that I had. I am a giver. And anybody who's around me knows that. Anybody who spends any time with me knows that. I have been told that people are drawn to me, that I have some light of some sort. I don't know what it is, and I'm not sure that I possess that, but thank you to those of you who feel that way. But I was asked a question about me and my progress and my journey. And what does it mean when I say to people that I finally found my voice? What that means for me is because I am a giver and because I care so deeply for other people, I have spent so much of my life, from even a small child, taking care of other people's needs. And as I continue to grow into adulthood, I continue to do the exact same thing. I care for others. I care for people on my job. I care for people in my home as I'm supposed to. As a mom of three beautiful kids, what else are you supposed to do? As a wife, as a significant other, once the divorce was finalized, all of these types of things, as you move on, you continue, well, I did, continue to be that go to person for everybody else. I did not take much time to think about what my specific needs were. I knew that I had those types of things. I knew I had wants. I knew that there were desires for me, but because of the person who I am, I stifled those. I pushed those aside because of the greater good. I always feel, and still do to this day, that I think that if I can help somebody, then that's what I'm supposed to do. But along that way, I totally forgot to think about myself and my own needs. So when I say that I found my voice, it means that I now speak more about the things that I would like to have. I speak more about the desires of my heart. And when I say the desires of my heart, I don't mean that they're all romantic desires. It means any goal that I have set for myself, such as this podcast. I have friends and family who reached out to me and said, hey, you know, you have something to say, you have a story to tell. And that's probably true. But when you're the one actually in the trenches, you don't think about it that way. You don't even see it that way. I'm not even sure if I see it that way yet today. But what I do know is that if indeed speaking what I feel, sharing my experiences, answering questions of those who have questions of me, if that can help someone, anyone, just one, then I've done my job. You see, finding my voice is still much bigger than me. Because if that little bitty voice can reach one person and have an impact on them in a positive light, then I've done exactly what I was set out to do in this world. You see, this voice has not always been one where I would share everything without feeling ashamed. And I have learned that we go through things not just for ourselves, but we go through things so that others can learn from that, so that we can be a light in somebody's day and somebody's journey. We are a testimony, because what we often forget is that when we tell our story of how we actually overcame something, how we made it to the other side, you just never know who's listening to that. You will never have any single idea how much your journey will help somebody else. What I have found is this: people will say to me, you smile a lot. I see you on social media. You have an absolutely beautiful smile. And we believe that it matches your personality. We believe it matches who it is that you are. Back to giving myself grace. I smile a lot because sometimes I have to remind myself that there is so much more in this world worth smiling for. Even when there are days when I don't feel like getting up or moving or doing anything else, I remember that if I actually smile and someone else sees it, it could be the only kindness that they've seen today. So it is my hope that if I'm able to share a smile or a kindness with someone else, that it might actually make their day. It might actually change their perspective. Even if I'm not feeling the best on the inside, that smile might be the one greeting that they needed today to make them feel like, hey, I can keep pushing. I can absolutely keep going. Because we all have those moments in which we believe, you know, I just need to sit down for a second. Today might be a little bit too much for me. But guess what? It's not. It is not. Don't you dare give up. Don't you dare forget who it is that you are. and who it is that has made you. Because let me tell you, I know who my daddy is, the most high. And he keeps me every single day, even on the days in which I need to give myself grace, such as today. I want to do what I promised you that I would do each week. I have received a few questions. I am going to do my best to make it through at least one of those today, because as I said, today has been a day. But I promise you that I am going to keep smiling, and I challenge you to do the same. So let's talk about question number one. It's actually kind of a statement and question together. This is what I was shared just the other day. I received a message and it said, Dr. Tammy, you are so beautiful and your light shines through for all of us when we hear you speak, when we see you on platforms, and when I finally met you in person, your light was still shining. But you keep telling us that you're dating, you're single. I know that men are asking you out. Why haven't you been on a date? So let me try to explain that. I am grateful that people see the external me. However, what I am hoping will happen is that my person, whomever he is, will see my inner beauty, because my inner beauty far outseeds the outer beauty. I have this heart that's amazing. At least I think that it is. I give unselfishly. I am willing to give just about the shirt off of my back. And I believe that the person who is made for me will appreciate that, will understand that I have a servant's heart, will embrace the fact that I do now have a voice and will not want me to stifle that, will support all of the goals that I have that are taking place right now as we speak. But most importantly, as I shared before, it won't be the outer beauty that is going to have my person find me, because he, the one, will look past that and see the inner beauty that comes with some flaws. Because as I shared in previous weeks, I am as imperfect as the next person. And it's important that each of us remembers that as we're on our journeys every day, personal journeys, professional journeys, whatever those journeys are, we remember that we're imperfect, and that's perfectly okay. Give yourself grace, as I am doing today. One more question, and then we're going to try to wrap it up. Unconditional love. That's our topic. That's the question. Does it exist? So we had this conversation in my group on social media, In the Trenches with Dr. Tammy, that group as well. So we had some people said, absolutely yes, it exists. Some people like, absolutely not, doesn't exist. I don't care what you say. There is no such thing as unconditional love. Okay? Others have said, well, this is an interesting topic. And here's what I think. It's absolutely an interesting topic. I'm not sure that I would say 100% that there is a such thing as unconditional love. I would say that I would like to believe that it does exist. I will say that I would like a love that respects boundaries, but loves through all flaws. And when I say that, I mean flaws that, of course, are not detrimental to anybody's well being. But knowing that I might get up at 6 a.m. and you like to sleep until 9. I'm a morning person. Or knowing that I can talk to an elevator because I never ever meet a stranger. Or knowing that she wears her feelings on her sleeves. She might cry at a drop of a dime, but that doesn't mean that she's still not a strong person. So when you're talking about unconditional love, you want to think about the other person as well. What are their needs? Because you want to also respect their boundaries. You also want to respect whatever their needs are. So we're talking about a mutual respect for each other. We're talking about being there when the other person needs you the most. We're saying build something special with that person. And hopefully, that love that you create, that union, that relationship, committed relationship, because that's what we hope that you will find, is built on a love that between the two of you is what you define as unconditional love. Because remember, as I always say, the two imperfect people can build something perfect just for them. So that will lead to their own version of unconditional love between the two of them. So, with that being said, yes, it's possible, in my opinion, that that type of love can exist between two people. Remember to support each other, to grow together, to have that mutual respect, and set necessary boundaries that allow you to continue to care and grow together. Well, with that being said, everybody, I really thank you for tuning in again today. I'm excited about some good things I'll share real quickly with you so I don't take up much more of your wonderful Friday morning. The book is almost done. Receive Word illustrations are in there and ready to go. So hopefully I'll be able to share at least a cover with you very, very soon. I'm excited about that. The website is almost up and going. So please bear with us. There's going to be so much new stuff coming for In the Trenches with Dr. Tammy. Thank you again for tuning in with me. Remember this: you are absolutely worthy. Let love win. Happy Friday.